Hello, I'm Minister Neci, and welcome to Real Talk Ministry Black History Moment. These moments are to reflect Black history throughout the year. Real Talk Ministry Black History Moments will do all that is necessary to bring Black history stories of people that many may have forgotten about and people you may have never heard of. In today's Real Talk Ministry Black History Moment, I will be discussing Henry Box Brown. The story of Henry Box Brown displays determination, love, heartbreak, loss, and love again. It is easy for Black Americans to be comfortable enough to have the freedom we have today, due to the people who came before us who were willing to sacrifice their lives for their and our freedom. We as Black Americans must never let their stories die out or be a thing of the past. Today's discussion of Henry Box Brown will show that no matter how hard and painful life was during slavery, he was willing to find love, freedom, and love again. Henry Brown, who received the name Henry Box Brown, was said to be born in the year of 1815 or 1816. He was born into slavery and had parents and siblings. When Henry was old enough to marry, he did and had 3 children by his first wife, Neci. He was a religious man, a man who believed in God and would attend church with his family. Although being a slave, Henry was good at being a tobacco worker, and he got paid for doing his job so well. With his money, he was able to establish a home for his wife and kids. Henry had to pay his slave master from his earnings received in order to keep his family together. One day, the slave master sold his wife, who was pregnant at the time, and his 3 children to another slave owner. He was devastated. It was a loss that he felt was too overwhelming to handle, but he continued on with life until he realized that he could no longer live the life as a slave any longer. One day, Henry heard from God to get some shoes because he was going to escape slavery. He went to get the shoes, and in the process of getting the shoes, he was able to speak to a man and whom was willing to help him to escape slavery. Henry decided that one of the best ways to escape was to be shipped to freedom in a box to Philadelphia. He had to work really hard to make the money to do this, so he worked and saved up his money so he can have the freedom he desperately wanted and needed. Once it was time, Henry shipped himself to Pennsylvania Anti-Slavery Society. Henry Brown traveled in the box for 27 hours. He faced death being in the box because they had him upside down the whole time. It worked. Henry Brown shipped himself in a small wooden box in order to receive his freedom, and it worked. Henry Box Brown accomplished a lot in his freedom and faced a lot of adversities and setbacks. He became an activist, magician, and found love again. Henry remarried and had more children. Due to the fear of becoming a slave again, Henry left with his family to live in England. Although it wasn't a permanent stay, Brown made sure he did what was needed to remain a free man. Henry Box Brown died on June 15, 1897. Wow, this is one of the many reasons why we should never forget about the history of slavery and what had to be endured during those times. Mr. Brown had a creative way to obtain his freedom, and it worked. He lost his family and had to start all over again. Our freedom today may not be as bad as it was back then, but we are still fighting for our complete freedom. And because of people like Henry Box Brown, we should never forget why changes are necessary and needed for the complete freedom of all people. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story of Henry Box Brown. Please visit Real Talk Ministry at www.realtalkministry.com to keep up with the latest events of what is happening with this ministry. Thank you for listening. I'm Minister Neci, and God bless.